pause before you said, all there is floor.
Hmm.
Can you explain it?
What can I explain?
It.
Everything is singular and it's an appearance, so it goes very quick. It's difficult to explain, but how can you explain? It's this, and that can be a sound or the floor, or it goes very quickly. So we sing like, oh, we see it like that, and it jumps. It's like Joe, and then it's not the attention, but there's a plant. How can you say? But do it slowly, like a plant, a table, a sensation. Oh, pain. No, and then. But it's not noticed. Everything is not noticed. Like, oh, there's this. It's just the same as normally. But there's nothing jumping on it or doing something else with it. I can't explain how that's working. It's suddenly, when there's no one, it's suddenly like, oh, it's the floor. The floor is floor, and it doesn't matter if it's the floor or something else or a sensation or running or something else. It's suddenly like we're so used to have all the time something going on and taking it home, like being busy with it, or why is that pain, or what's going on here, or that flower. How can it be that it's so good now? And what is the name of all that? And then when that's not going on, it's suddenly like exactly how it is. And that's the strange thing is, then that's amazing, because it's never like that, because there's always something around or with it or overlaid or whatever, and then suddenly it's exactly what it is, and then suddenly it's like, oh, that's what she or he is meaning by what is this, because people ask also like, what is this? But that's the same. I think it's the same question that you do. Like, how can you explain? Well, it's not like living in a story, but everything is singular. And that it's suddenly when there can be a moment or that we call awakening, that suddenly there's nothing going on about it. Like, no me, you used to say, like, nothing going on, and no trying to change. It is what it is, suddenly, without anything. And then it's suddenly, oh! And then how can you tell? How can you tell what it is? But when people talk about it, it's not even a moment, but it can take like one moment, or sometimes it's longer. Then it's suddenly like, oh, it's just going. And that's amazing. It's just amazing that it's just going, and it's so alive. And what we're used to is like everything is solid and real, and it makes us a bit dull, and how can we make it nice, and being busy with how to deal with it and all that. We're so used to that. And suddenly that all isn't there. And it's like, oh! And then the innocence and the aliveness is so obvious. So this is about loss. You can't do this. It's about loss, the loss of all those being busy. But it's that it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's like that's when being busy and focused and trying and all that, it's very strong, and suddenly it isn't, and then it's like that, or for a longer time. Well, then what here happened? It's like it stopped. It stopped being busy. I was always busy, like everyone, and then suddenly that stopped. I don't know why. No idea. I wasn't busy with. I was just busy with looking at myself, what I always did, and feeling and all that. And suddenly it didn't go on. It was like, huh? Oh! That's so... And you hear, there are more people talking about those. That what you said about running. It's suddenly, oh! That what all the beliefs that you have about, and concepts about how life is going and how I am doing and all that. And suddenly it's completely something else. And in the same time, it's so simple and obvious, and how could I not see this? And then it jumps, like that whole thing that we are so used to. It comes back, and it's so known, or so, it's the normal way. So sometimes it's just coming back, and it's not even noticed, and then, what has happened? And all that, trying to find out, and it's already in the story again. So it's energetic. Can't do anything with this. Yeah.
Well, when you said floor, all there is floor.
Yeah. Floor, table, sensation, hand. We think it's always the whole room and there's something happening because we live in time and distance, so that's happening to me or there's something between us and all that. And when that's not there, it's suddenly, oh, it's flooring. And it doesn't matter, it's all the time like that. Just going, it's very simple, everything is going on, not noticing what's going on, like, oh, floor, oh, this, oh, that. It's not the whole time like that, of course. But that can be when the first time it's like, can be very strong. Because it's so new.
That's what people say when they smoke marijuana. Like they
that can be.
The cup for hours.
Yeah.
And all they see is the cup.
Yeah, that can be, and then
so
that's
something similar.
Because that's so new and so, But then there's something else also because that's something about the brain. I don't know what's going on there, but of course it's sometimes you see it when you use drugs or some certain drug. You hear people talking about this.
So something had to happen with the brain.
No, it's energetic. So it's energy, and suddenly it's not so strong. I don't know why. It
must change the brain.
No, it's not changing the brain. That's more with drugs, and then there's something going on. I don't know how that works.
Because there's so many similarities.
I don't know if that's. I don't know. Not something
like
that.
Some research.
Yeah.
You should go to some scientist laboratory.
Yeah, but that's what we know. But that's what we normally do. In the story, we try to find out how this is working and why and all that. This is energetic, so it has nothing to do with anything, and that's crazy because we want to grasp and we want to know somewhere or how. Because we feel like this is not enough. So how can I do this or maybe understand? It doesn't matter if there's understanding or not. You don't need to. It's not about, when they're saying that about the floor, there's no need to understand what's going on. Oh. It's energetic, so there can be suddenly like, it's suddenly like, oh, and that's already. And there's no need to understand it or what's going on and why. That's what we normally do. Yeah,
there is no need, but I have a need to understand.
Yeah, because that's how me works. That it's want to know, and maybe there's something graspable about it. No, it's already. It's energetic, so there's no need to understand. It's energetic. You can think like it. Can be an understanding about what's being said here, but there's also something energetic going on. What you can't notice. It's not felt. It's energetic. Maybe there's some tiredness coming out, and it can be. There can be destroying concepts. You don't even know what's going on. It's just going without noticing. We're not used to that. And maybe then 2 days later you think like, what is going on? That's not that strong anymore. How has that happened? And can be, for example. That's energetic. It's not, we are so used to do or not to do or understand and all that. And that's completely not, we are not talking about that. There's no need to understand. That's.
But it's so drastically changing the perceiving of what's going on that there must be some change.
That's in the story. You can when we talk about it, it's like a change. And the strange thing is when there's always change. So there can be like when there's suddenly that whole struct is not happening, then there's, at that moment, it's like, oh, but after that, it's so normal. There's nothing being busy, no one being busy with anything. So it's not talking about change, because there's nothing busy with anything. So I don't know if there's a change or not. I don't know what happened, what was happening 2 days before. Can't even remember. But so what? So there's no, in that way, there's no change. There's change like this is this, and then there's walking outside maybe. That's the change. But there's no meaning in that change. We think there's a meaning because we're looking for something.
Yes, because because that's,
Hold on.
yeah, you want to understand everything, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not understandable, then and
Yeah.
you're interested in it, and
Yeah.
you want to,
Mhm.
you're like following it, and then you know you're
lost in a bit because it's not about understanding. So like, you don't even know how to ask or how to say. But that's what it's about. It's not like you can't grasp. It's like, how about, and people talk like that, and it's like, oh, and there's somewhere also something going on like a relaxation, because it's so exhausting to be busy with it and trying to find out because that's important, and suddenly it's like, and it's not even noticed as maybe the relaxation, or maybe it's not. That doesn't matter. But there can be like, trying to find, and here that's completely useless to know and to find out. It's not wrong or right. It's just has no meaning. You don't have to believe this. Of course not.
you know, since we were like kids, we had to go to school and we had to learn things, and we are used to go somewhere just to learn something. And then suddenly, you know, here I am. And you're telling me there's no reason to be here, really.
But it's like little kids.
I'm not gonna get anything out of this. And it's like, so why am I here?
Of course, that's what me is asking, because it wants to know, it wants to understand there was something. And then hearing, but there is no one. It's like little children, there's an innocence. It's going by itself. It's completely, it's stunning that it's going by itself. I did all that effort to trying to know, to trying to behave in a certain way. Everybody did. And all that. And then suddenly someone is saying to me, but it's already going by itself. Hello? I was all that trouble and all that being busy and all that. Wow! And there can be like frustration about it, because you think like, hello, I was, and how can you tell that? And somewhere there can be a resonance in that, like, there can be, and there can be a relaxation. It's both. It's so different. Everybody's different in that. And there can be an anger, like, what are you saying, Baka? Because I did so much, and there was improvement, and I was like that. And how can you say that? And then, or something else. Yeah, of course. Can both ways. Yeah. So this is what with Tony saying, there's a killer, there's something going on, like destroying all those beliefs about what I did and the importance of what I did, and I did so many things and I learned from that and it's going better and all that. And something is saying, and then there's someone is saying, it's not important at all. It's like, what is this? And somewhere there's also something else in it. There's something about it, but you can't understand. That's the craziness, because if it's saying, somebody saying it and you understand it, it's like, okay, I can feel it, I can understand it, or all that.
I can relax.
But this is completely like not knowing, or not understandable, or not graspable. So in a way, for me, like for that whole construct, is being busy trying to deal with everything. it's awful to hear that there's no doing or understanding. It's not important. It's like, yeah, but everything, what I remember, everything goes wrong when I let go or something like that. I think that. And that's why you think, yeah, there's some need for some control. Maybe not everything, but some control. And then, no, there's already no control. There's already no control. What are you talking about? I did this and all that. And that's what's going on here. But it's like, oh, how is that possible? And it's somewhere there's ringing a bell, maybe very far away, and there can be some stress or anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the control is very strong here.
Yeah, can be. Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with having the feeling being in control. But it's also exhausting and being busy and trying and always. So there's some longing for something else somewhere. And that's what we're talking about here. So there's that belief which is so strong that we have to do that and all that. And somewhere there's something else going on too. But there can be tension or anything going on. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. This is not the easy way when this is going on. It's about relaxing or feeling better. There can be anything going on. There can be sadness or there can be stress in that, or suddenly like, oh my God, or anything.
Or judging.
Yeah.
So everything is the same, or I think mostly, even if we know it, we try to think that something will be different. But I mean behaviors. That most of us, I think, still think that something will be different. But actually, everything what we do, think, move, just happen. We only think that there's someone who owns it.
Yeah.
It's only one. So it doesn't mean that you did something wrong. What happened was by itself. Only if there is no me, I am not conscious of this, I can't even remember that, because at this moment when there is no one, no one can even own this or remember this. So somehow.
No, there can be a remembering, but it's going by itself.
But itself, and the me can never, I don't know how to say. The me cannot be without me, you know, how I don't know how to tell you. You know, the sense of I can be never know how is it.
No, because it makes something of it, and that will be different.
But it has nothing to do about wrong behavior or something.
No, the behavior there's nothing changing. The changing, you could say, there's nothing going on about it. This is right and wrong, and that's not noticed because there's no one doing that. And then there can be a relaxation because there's nothing going on all the time that I should do not this. No. So that tension can be in that doesn't mean you feel better, because relaxation doesn't mean you feel better. There can be a lot of pain or emotions.
And even I think, for example, you don't need even all-time question, should I behave like this? But somehow automatically, in normal things, even when I go brush my teeth, somehow there is I go brush my teeth. It even doesn't need to be only should I do this or this, but somehow it's felt that there is someone.
Yeah, there can be, but it doesn't matter. And there's so much going on that we have an idea that there will be a change
Yes.
in something, some way. Yeah.
Mostly it's
And,
like
and,
that.
the strange thing is, there can be a moment of that
Yeah.
there's a change, and after that moment, no, it's the noticing, the awareness, the looking at yourself, it's just not there.
Yes.
So it's not noticed. There can be a lot of maybe what you normally, when you look at yourself, oh, that's a pattern. Maybe, I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Well, there's nothing going on about it. There's some behavior or not behavior, yeah. But there's no rose, so it's everything is an appearance. So, what are we talking about? There's nothing going on. It's nothing happening. It's that it's not even a pattern, because that's happening in time in the story. There's so much about pattern, and you shouldn't do that, or you cannot do, or whatever you go on. There's always something. When there's me, there's something going on. Not right or right, and it's maybe not in those words, because it's more like, oh, it's more natural not to have patterns, or all kind of ways. In a subtle way, there's something going on, like better and worse, or all that. And when that's completely lost, it doesn't mean there's no tension anymore. Of course, no, anything can happen. It's in that way, it's the same. It's not that you walk on the street and people say, oh, who's this? Yeah. There's somebody. No, nobody. That was what struck me. It was like, oh, it's so simple. There was a subtle moment of disappointment, because I thought it was something more energetic or special. Or no, nothing. No, not in that way. No, nobody sees you. In that way. No, well, that's there's a longing for something, and you think maybe there's, or more freedom, or more, I don't know, less tension maybe. No. In that way, it's the same. The only thing, and that's huge also, is constantly being busy with what's going on.
Rose?
Yeah.
Yesterday you said that me is like survival mechanism. That even if there is no me, the organism is surviving just fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's also, it's life, it's energy. So nothing. But when there's when there's me going on and I'm here, there's something feeling like there's something going wrong. So there's trying to feel better and all that. So so I can say it's fine, but for me it's not fine. Like for someone who is in that construct, it's not like, yeah, I'm satisfied. Oh, then you say it's fine. Oh, it's okay. No, you can say to yourself, it's okay. There are all books about I'm okay, you're okay, and everybody's trying to be okay with what's going on, but it doesn't help, because it's not really working. There's something underneath. Still, there's like going frustration maybe, or unsatisfaction.
So when there is me, there is always that need to rearrange things. To be safer. Even more safer.
Or safer, or And there's an answer, there's a solution, in the end it will be okay. And it's never, And it's so strong, and maybe someday there is a moment that it's okay, because and then after a while it's starting again. For maybe in another way, but so that's the frustration. It is never for always. So there's looking for something always. Well, and then when it's in the story, it never is. So it's
jumping on another story.
It's maybe when I have enough money, and then finally there is, and then suddenly like, and now...
But maybe not enough money.
Maybe I don't feel safe now, but somebody can take it, and then rough, or anything.
Another story.
Or my relation, or whatever. It jumps on something else.
Survival.
So it's not about, then it's very obvious, it's not, maybe it's not, but it's not about circumstance. It has nothing to do with that. But when you're in the story and living and everything is real, circumstances seem so real and happening to me and all that. So that's looking into things and something. And it's not something, it's everything. Mm-hmm. You could say it's hiding by being everything. Mm-hmm. It's that, I like that. Like, it's hiding. It seems like hiding, and it's open because it's everything. It's already. That's you can't grasp that because like everything. Yeah.
Rose, would you say more about judgment?
Judgment. Yeah, judgment is also part of the story because there's the feeling there's something not right or I'm not good enough. And that's coloring everything. So it seems like there's right and wrong or better and worse. So there's also judgment because this is you're not good enough or it's not going well, and or judgment about yourself, of course, because that's also a lot happening. I'm not good enough and maybe I should do this better, and that can be so strong, but it can also be very subtle. And there can be an understanding of that. There's no need for judgment or all that. There's a lot of people who understand. And then suddenly it's there, but it's not completely lost, or there's something, and suddenly there's something else going on with that. It's energetic. It's not from someone. It's not you judging yourself, because that's in the spiritual things that's going on. It's energetic. So there can be thoughts like that, but they don't have any meaning. But when there's a belief, and when that's very strong, then it sticks, so that can be for a while, it can be there or not, and then it can't be wrong. It's life. There's no one inside. It's life happening. So that what's happening, like certain behavior or certain, like in the story, doing or anything, it can't be right or wrong. It's what apparently is happening. There's no one. There's no story. It's an appearance of that what's going on. It's like an appearance of a floor, a body, a feeling. It's singular. So there's nothing happening. It's that appearance of that feeling, or maybe that thought, but there's no meaning in anything. So it's already complete. It doesn't matter if there are thoughts, I should do that different. Then those thoughts are there, that's also complete. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be thoughts like, I'm not good enough. Those thoughts are what's happening. So it can't be not right. But there can be a frustration because they're still in that story and feeling like I'm not complete and not believing, or maybe hoping that someday they don't come anymore. But there's nothing wrong with those thoughts too. It's an appearance of that energy. They don't have any meaning. It's what's happening. It's already complete. It doesn't matter what it is. Even the feeling I'm there, or things like there's still a me, or there's still judgment. There's so many ideas about how it should be. It's exactly how it's going. It can't be different. It can't be different. It's exactly how that's going. Exactly what's going on. The face, everything is complete as it is. It's unconditional love. Thoughting. Feeling.
Rose, is it possible that even in the story this sense of I, there is somehow still that there is no me who is thinking about so many things like before.
Yeah, that can be diminishing, or in the story it could be like that it's not that strong anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of times it goes like that. Although it's being busy, it's can't be that strong
because
anymore.
It happened about, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago that I have really, I don't know now, I have really full of this all stuff with my mother, with my son, with everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I was really in one day in a situation that I even wanted to kill her or me or something. I was really ready to do it, and I even sat in the car and I decided to do something. I was really crazy. And when I came home and some things happened, it was like oh, this is my, I even hear this voice in my head, you know. And it was like, I don't know how to say, it doesn't mean that I was not angry, you know, but it was something completely different. And since this time, somehow, it doesn't, I think there is sense of I, but before I was thinking about everything. About my son, for example, about my another son, what will be good next school for him better, or I was thinking about my daughter that hope she came home and that nothing's happened in Mallorca. And since this time, I very often can't even, when she called me it's okay, and after that, nothing. Sometimes even I don't think over so many things. And the same with my mother, for example. I wrote, hey, do you want to go for coffee, for example, because she didn't see me actually so much, almost 10 years, you know, and she lives very close to it. And sometimes I go around, so I walk her and tell her, and before, when she will be like that, I will be almost crying and do everything. It doesn't mean that it's, so it can be even said, but there is nothing more. Before, I would try, and maybe apologize, even if I think that it's not my wrong, you know, and this, and nothing. And with all my big topics, even with this politics, as I call it, it is still interesting. And I can be really just a couple of minutes like this, and I say, this is my favorite. But after a couple of times, I don't keep it so much now. And sometimes when I hear you, I think that there is an I, but if I try to find, okay, where is Monica who was so angry thinking about this, somehow, I can't find it. And when we speak with my husband, usually it was, I was so, I want to change all the world at home, you know. And he was mostly quiet, and we don't accept this and this, he's kind of, and now it's changed, which is funny, because usually I mean quiet, okay, I do something and say something, I don't think about this, and he tried to tell me, you know, you don't think about the whole time. He tried me to something like a get back, you know. He told me that I'm not responsible, for example, something like this, you know, because so I think that there is still a sense of I don't mean, but it can be a little less.
There can be, but that's a lot of times that drive is not that strong anymore. That drive to change or to be busy and all that, and it,
I'm just busy maybe 5 minutes with that, and after that,
it's gone.
As you tell about Trump, and after I have coffee and I have creamy, you know, for example. Or go out. Because before I was thinking about this maybe a couple of days in the story. I couldn't stop. And I was thinking, how I can manage this, you know. And what shall I do with this, you know. And I try always. Usually it takes me so much time to fix it.
There's also no Monica. So there can be in the story, it can be.
But I mean in the story.
And in the same time, there was already no Monica. There is already no one. So that's, there's no change in that way.
But there's a parent change, right?
In a story, it seems like that. Yeah, of course. Because there's a comparing.
Yes,
there's living in time,
sure.
so they can be seeing that. They can be about less, and that feels good, or that seems like it's about that. It's not even about that. It doesn't matter if there's a lot of being busy with that.
Yeah, or no.
And life doesn't care. It doesn't care.
It somehow happened just.
Well, yeah. Everything is meaningless.
Yes.
Even the change that can be, it's less
It's
being busy.
Yes.
It's meaningless.
Yes.
And that's crazy.
I am thinking about
because
it,
we give
it's
it
important.
meaning.
It's only funny because somehow to see that everything is different somehow. Yeah. But
in a story.
Yeah.
So it's meaningless.
It's crazy.
Doesn't mean it didn't. Yeah, it
yeah,
doesn't mean
I am
anything.
not even waiting if it means something or no. I'm not waiting for anything, you know. So.
This is already unconditional love. It's the only thing, unconditional love. There's only unconditional love. Everything is unconditional love. Everything is this, but this is unconditional love. It's carpeting, talking, it's sitting. It's the only thing there is. There isn't anything else. It's being in love already. So there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to change because this is already everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's everything. That's the joy. Life is already what it is. It doesn't matter if it's thought thing, I don't care, I'm not dead or all that. It's already that. It's that energy. There's nowhere to go. It's already complete as it is. Thank you. Mm-hmm.